I'm audible right at the back? No, thank you. Thank you. Good morning to all the ladies and gentlemen. So nice to see you all here on Sunday morning to hear on this issue. Let me, because the time is very less and I have two experts on the subject, so I won't take much time. The only thing I would like to mention is that I knew General Dhillon had been in Srinagar, in Amritsar and all that, and he would know about, the water dispute and his water treaty and all that. But I was a little quizzed as to how Mr. Kundu could be also an expert on water. Frankly, I thought we journalists are the only ones who are experts in everything. And it was our monopoly, and how could an IPS officer now talk about water? It was only then that I went to see his profile and saw that really he has done a lot of work on water. He was joint secretary in the Ministry of Water Affairs, and he had been associated with several projects relating to water issues. So that's when I knew that why Mr. Vivek Athar has selected him to be speaking on water treaty. So without much ado, Mr. Kundu, first to you, and that is, was Indus water treaty a blunder? Was it a pressure put on India? Was it fair? Could you please elaborate on that?
Thank you, Mr. Pubby. I think
when in 1960 this Indus water treaty was signed, it was a great blunder, and India prejudiced its own rights, and we went in for signing of this treaty. Now in water, there are international waterways, there are interstate waterways, there are river basins, intra-basin, inter-basin. So what we did was, these are 6 rivers, and 2 of them don't originate in India, but other 4 originate in India. And what we did was, we have our own share of contribution to these rivers. Whatever we contribute, out of that 70% we gave to Pakistan. We were so liberal, and we only retained 30% of ours. And overall Indus Basin, we only use 16%, Pakistan gets to use 84%. Now, this is, I don't know why we did it. And there is, the treaty has 12 articles and annexes H to H. Now, some of these totally defy me today. In fact, I'll just go back when we had settled this very long, outstanding, 150-year-old problem of Kaveri River. Mr. Gadkari used to be our minister. He called me. He said, "Kundu ji, कुछ करते हैं इसका, क्योंकि पंजाब हरियाणा पानी के लिए बहुत लड़ते हैं." I said, "Sir, I don't handle this. This is not in my division." He said, "But I trust you. Why don't you have a look at this?" So when we saw, I realized that Indus Water Treaty, which governs the distribution of water in northern states, is totally prejudicial to India. I said, "Sir, we need to revisit this Inter-Water Treaty." And almost every bureaucrat within the ministry, outside the ministry, pounced on me. They said, "This is a treaty in perpetuity. How can you even think of revisiting this treaty?" I said, "What is in perpetuity? Empires rise, empires fall, countries form, countries disintegrate. So what is with this treaty?" I said, "This is highly prejudicial." I think they were pressured by World Bank, or probably World Bank loans, or Indian officers going to World Bank for assignments, whatever the reason was. But anyway, I gave my note. Now the thing is that we are today, after basically keeping it in abeyance, we are in such a strong position that 5 to 10 years from now, Pakistan will become a desert. Pakistan will come down on its knees. When we discuss the details, I'll come to it. But this is such a lever. We were discussing with the General Dhillon. We can even get POK back. We can get Pakistan to address all the border issues, including LOC, LAC, and even Sarkreep. And we can get Pakistan to renounce its claim on Jammu and Kashmir. Because Pakistan is water scarce. And most of the water, 80% of the water that it gets, is from Indus Basin. And I'm not saying that some people give a statement, "Ek bhool nahi jaane denge." That's not possible. But only thing that we can do is we will not give our rightful share to Pakistan. That will bring Pakistan to its knees. As we go on, we'll discuss this, but that is for a starter.
Thank you very much. In fact, putting these things into perspective, it's actually eye-opener, and it's a fact that although we got 3 rivers, they got 3 rivers, but the majority of water, that is the highest quantity of water, I think about 70% or so, went over to Pakistan. And although Pakistan had less than 1/4 of India's population even at that time, so it had been quite unfair, but we'll come to details a little later. I'll go over to Dhillon. And General Dhillon has actually worked in Kashmir, the most important core, as well as Amritsar, and he's seen very closely Pakistan's side and what all has to deal with Pakistan. But first I'll come to something that's, since childhood we've been hearing that the next war would be either could be through Maus or for water. So is this some kind of a thing? You think it's a kind of a war relating to water?
Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone in the hall. Water as a weapon is a subject in itself, and Indus Water Treaty is some part of that whole concept of using water as a weapon. I'm not going to that. I'll just explain. Mr. Kundu has explained the whole background to the Indus Water Treaty. I'll explain when he made a statement within 5 to 10 years Pakistan will be a desert. I'll try and amplify on that with few slides. And so I hope everyone will be able to understand how it is going to impact Pakistan if we stop this water. Can we have the next please? Just go back. This is a picture of Marala Headworks or Marala branch, and I'll be talking about it. And this is how they control the water which is released into Pakistan. Next please. Now these are the rivers. This is the Pakistani Punjab, the dark brown part. And this is how the rivers flow inside Pakistani Punjab. And just for the information, how's the grain of the country, that means the slope of the region in this part of the world is from northeast to southwest. Whether you have the water flowing naturally by gravity or by grain of the country, northeast to southwest, if you want to bring it towards southeast, it is not possible unless you lift the water or you build a barrage and you build a canal. Natural grain is this, which is also amplified by the. This is very important point I'm making because it will come up further. Now, this is the Pakistani Punjab. If Ravi, Beas, Satluj was also going into Punjab, Pakistani Punjab had no problem of water. But since these 3 rivers are not going into Punjab, you can see the lower half of Punjab. If the Chenab River is the boundary, lower half of Pakistani Punjab is devoid of water. And this is our tool. Next please. Now this is the overall, complete Pakistan. Now the Indus River also, which Mr. Kundu referred to as the 6th river, is also coming. And Indus River also, when Balochistan is totally devoid of water, the natural water. And it goes down to Sindh. And this is the boundary between Punjab and Sindh where Indus is river. The pointers are too dim for the intensity of the screen. So next please. And now this is how Pakistan has put various dams and headworks on these rivers. Now important point is, now you see Chenab is the boundary where the water is going into Pakistan, and Ravi and Satluj and Beas joins Ravi on one side. Ravi and Satluj water is not going into Pakistan. So what has Pakistan done is, Pakistan has pulled the Chenab water down and poured it into the Ravi bed. And then taken water from the Ravi bed also to bring it down to feed its lower Punjab. I just explained that. Now there are headworks. Just remember he has put so many headworks or dams inside Pakistan. Mangla, which is on Jhelum, and Chenab, which is Marala, which is on Chenab, are important ones. Next please. Now here you see the upper river is Chenab, the lower river is Ravi. Now what Pakistan has done is, from there see that bifurcation where it starts in the Chenab river top right, that is the Marala headworks, the photograph I have shown. From here he has built that MR link, Marala Ravi link canal, and brought down the water from Chenab into Ravi. Then I think picture they are not going to see. If
Vipin ji, you can move on this side. Thanks, sir. Chair.
Now, if you see MR link, that is the Marala Ravi link canal. So he has brought down the Chenab water from Marala at Vaxin and put it into the Ravi. Then you see UCC, Upper Chenab canal. He has again pulled water from Chenab and brought it into Ravi. And then you see BRBDL, that is Bambanwala Ravia Bedia link canal. So from place called Bambanwali, he has brought down the water, and this link canal goes under the Ravi river, opposite our Rajnala sector. It's called Ravi siphon, and it feeds the area south of Lahore, going right up to opposite our Firozpur and Khemgan sector. Then you see from the LCC, from the Kadirabad, he has again brought down the water to Baloki by Kadirabad Baloki link canal. Then there is the lower Chenab canal, LCC, and then the UCC upper Chenab canal. Now this is how he is feeding the Punjab part of Pakistan, which is below Chenab river. Now if we do not put water in Chenab as promised by IWT, and you can see what will happen to Pakistan. So I thought we must be very clear as to how it is going to impact Pakistani Punjab, because in Pakistan Punjabis rule the roost. Half of Punjab will be without water if Chenab does not get water. Next please. Now this is just the other four rivers and how the the QB link and the upper Chenab canal and MRL and BRTBL, how they are feeding the water and making this part green. I just made another close up. Next please. And now here you see this, in spite of all this river linking, there is a portion opposite our Jaisalmer and Bikaner sector where I have written Cholistan Desert. This area has still not got water. And there is Asim Munir's very favorite project, Green Pakistan Initiative, where he wants to pull water from Indus River and bring it to Cholistan to make this part of Punjab green. And Sindhis are against it. Just before Operation Sindoor, there were thousands of trucks which Sindhis had blocked the highway. They were not allowing them to go inside the Sindh or out of it, because in this water, Sindhis feel it is their claim. Now, getting it into Cholistan to make Punjab green is not acceptable to Sindhis, and if we stop the water, we can, further widen this rift between Sindhis and Punjabis. So I just thought I'll highlight how water is important to Pakistani Punjab. And as we all know, Punjabis rule the whole country, the whole military there. So I thought I'd just amplify this. Back to you. And just by the way, when I was a colonel, I was looking at all these rivers and headworks with a different idea. We might still put it into practice.
Very illuminating presentation, certainly. It's an eye-opener, the way, and the latest about how they want to green a part of Punjab, which is still not green. I'll now request Mr. Kundu to, before that I'll just like to make a remark that, besides giving all that water to Pakistan in disproportionate manner, we also paid Pakistan 62 million pounds to build their canal networks. So maybe you'll have much more details about this project, kindly.
See, I'd just like to tell.
To understand water large volumes, there are two units that we use. One is kilometer cube, that is MKS, the modern system. What is used in Indus water treaty is MAF, MAS million acre feet. So how much is that in physical terms? So that is 1 million acre of area and 1 feet height. So Delhi is about 1500 kilometer square. So if you flood Delhi almost 3 times, that is 1 MAF. 1 MAF is a lot of water. So what did Indus water treaty do was, it gave 135 to 140 MAF to Pakistan. 90 MAF from Indus, 25 MAF from Chenab, and 25 MAF from Jhelum. And what did India get? Only 30 MAF. And to develop this network, to be able to use it, India gave 62 million pounds sterling. Other countries also gave, World Bank also gave, but it was foolish on India's part to develop their network rather than our network. So it is highly prejudicial. Then what the preamble to Indus Water Treaty says is, in a spirit of friendship and goodwill. And what, has there been any goodwill after 60? No. And it also says that the disputes will be resolved in a spirit of cooperation. That has not happened. Good faith and good cooperation. Now, as I said, the treaty is 12 articles, and there are articles which are very prejudicial to India. First is on the western rivers, which are very huge. We don't have any consumptive rights. We cannot consume. That means we cannot use it for irrigation. We cannot use it for industries. It is only non-consumptive use. That means hydropower, fisheries, and probably tourism. We have consumptive use on the eastern river. They are very small. And Pakistan has been very smart because they got surplus water, then they have diverted to other basins. Same time, it is preventing India from diverting interbasin. It is done on its own. So what Pakistan does is, while the treaty is very bad for India, the annexures are extremely bad. So there are three annexures. D is hydropower, E is storage, and H is in transition, what we need to do. So what does D say? D says is, it is almost a treaty on its own. We have given veto rights to Pakistan. If we want to do anything, we have to ask Pakistan. And the only capacity that we have is 1.2 to 3.6 MAF. We can store so much water, we cannot store. And over the years, these dams have become silted. And we cannot desilt it also. Now, after this, we are desilting, we are increasing the capacity. Now, what does E says annexure? Again, we have given veto rights to Pakistan. The canal network, which was during Maharaja's time, we cannot increase it. We cannot even touch it. We cannot even repair it. So you must be knowing Pratap Canal and Ranveer Canal in Jammu. We cannot do anything about it. Because we have basically put our fate to Pakistan. And H is what we do during transition. This is also very, very bad for India. I think it was totally sellout. And not only did we give rights, we also gave money. And I think it is time for India to revisit it. Why it is important and why do we have leverage? In water resources, we call something called fact sheet. So I will give you India's fact sheet. India has got world's 2% land, 17% population, 15% cattle population, and 4% fresh water. That is, and we've got 1150 kilometer cube of water. About 700 is surface water, rivers, and 450 is groundwater. This is India's fact sheet. What is Pakistan? Pakistan is 2.85% of world's population. Their fresh water is only 0.5%. And how much water does Pakistan have? 247 kilometer cube. Most of it is Indus. And what is Pakistan's per capita water availability? It is 1000. It is already scarce. 80% of Pakistan has no water. And what do they do with our water? What we give? 90% is used for irrigation for crops like wheat, rice, which they export. You must have seen Tilda rice, then sugarcane and cotton. Most of their wealth comes from the Indus water. And we are so positioned that if we are able to transfer some of it, use it on our own, Pakistan, as I said, will come down to its knees because it's highly dependent on Indus water.
Thank you, Vipin. I was a little curious to know all talking about Indus, and Punjab, as you know, is already facing severe shortage of water, and there's a dispute between Punjab and Haryana, and Rajasthan also needs more water, and still, we were deprived of that kind of share that we should have got. But at the same time, I would like to know from you first as to, a lot of our water is still going into Pakistan, which is Satluj and Ravi. Why no steps were taken to, have a canal network or to control that water?
See, in water resources, there's something called rim station. So rim station are huge dams. So on Satluj we have Bhakra, On Bias we have Bong, and on Ravi we have this Ranji Sagar or Peen Dam. So we are able to utilize 100% water in these REM stations. But whatever rainfall happens after that, we are not able to utilize. That water also goes to Pakistan. Because there was never an effort to use 100% of 30 mA which has been allotted to us. Now the talk that is going on and the feasibility that we are seeing is, out of the 135 to 140 mA that is with Pakistan, we can use about 20 to 30 mA from that. That is practical. We can irrigate Ladakh. It will stop being a desert. We can irrigate Kashmir from Jhelum River, and we can irrigate Jammu region from Chenab. And we can also transfer about 20 mA south. So it will basically fulfill the needs of Punjab, Haryana, and the water can go up to Delhi also. And you have to be mindful that whole North India, the groundwater is going down. It is overexploited. And if this water comes, I think a lot of our problems in North India will be solved.
Thank you. Dhillon, Pakistan's defense minister has said that if we stop water under SWOT activity, it will be an act of war. So what do you think are the kind of implications that could be there in case we stop water?
See, the military implications of the agrarian society which Pakistan is, the implications are well known. Now, there's a lot of talk about ek boond nahi jaane denge. Mr. Kundu was referring to someone on the table. No, that's not possible. That's not possible till we build capabilities inside our own country. We need to build dams, we need to build canals, interlinking of canals. The feasibility study is there. Even during Mr. Vipin's time, the interlinking of canal was a subject which Mr. Kundu would know. Now, till we build those capabilities, act of war is defined by when you enter someone's boundary with something which can hit their military or their civilians. There's an aircraft going with an explosive. So that's an act of war. But once the war treaty has been abolished, then it's up to us how we do it. Now, point is, can we use this water within our countries? Now, it will take time. It will take time to build dams. It will take time to desal the existing dams. It will take time to build canals. And the way Pakistan has done it, if we have to put it into, say, Ravi or Satluj and then further make into Indira Gandhi Canal and Sarhand canals and further make few canals and take it right up to Delhi and also northern Rajasthan. Till that takes time, there is a very important aspect of our thing within India and Pakistan which is called data sharing. Mr. Kundu will be able to amplify more, I will only tell you as a layman. But data sharing is we tell them in advance as to this much water we are going to release. And they have the capabilities within their country, dams and all, and they prepare for receiving that much of water on daily basis or a weekly basis. But if now we have stopped sharing this data, now once we stop sharing the data and once the dams are full to its capacity in Indian territory, we are at liberty to release the water at our own will and the quantity also at our own will. So they cannot absorb that. I'll just give a layman's example. Suppose we are giving 2 liters of water every day. They have the capacity and infrastructure to absorb that 2 liters and then divert it to various places so that they can utilize it before it goes into Arabian Sea. Now, if we don't give 2 liters every day and after 7 days we release 20 liters, 15 to 16 liters out of this will go into Arabian Sea unutilized. And the havoc which it will create inside Pakistan is, additional. So this data sharing is very important aspect of Indus World Treaty. And this act of war, there is nothing called act of war if the treaty is abolished and then we utilize the water in our territory. The lower riparian, the upper riparian and all is all hogwash. We are a sovereign state. We have the right to utilize the water in our territory. So that's where it's at.
Thank you. So you were mentioning about the riparian status. It is used for Pakistan, but neither China has it with India or with other Southeast Asian countries. Neither has Turkey or any other country. So why is it that it was imposed? And secondly, I wanted to ask you about what would the implication in case we abrogate this? Will the World Bank or any other international organization has to do anything with that?
Thank you, Mr. Pubby. This is a very interesting question. My stand.
May I interject for a second? See, when I was a corps commander in Kashmir, there is a dam which we made in Kishangarh River in Gurez sector, which Pakistan objected to, and they went to the International Court of Justice. And we were giving replies. I was a corps commander because the military implication thing used to come to my table. And we gave our replies that we are using this water for electricity production for the population of the state. And we are run of the mill. Run of the mill is called. We are using run of the mill. That means we are not stopping any water. After the generation of electricity, the water is going into POP. But we won that case. We won that case in the International Court of Justice. I remember we used to give helicopters to all these people who used to come, including Pakistanis, to go on site and all that. So I think if we are on a solid footing and if our legal experts are good, we don't have to worry about what World Bank will say. In any case, World Bank is not a signatory to the treaty. Treaty is only between two parties, Pakistan and India. Sorry.
Thank you, General Dhillon. My greatest vindication happened when Mr. Ajay Singh Banga, who is the World Bank president, he also said what I was saying 7-8 years back. He says this is a treaty between two sovereign nations. World Bank has nothing to do with it. It's how you decide how to divide your water. Now, taking General Dhillon's idea further, there are certain things we can do it in short term, certain things we can do in medium term, and certain in long term. So what we can do in short term is, there's an article which says about sharing of data. So the onus was on India because of upper riparian. Once we have stopped sharing data, Pakistan is on a kiosk. Why data is so important, I'll tell you. In water resources projects, the projects are designed over 100 years of data. 100 years you see peak events, extreme events, and then you design a project. That is how you make a dam. That is how you make a drinking water supply. That is because drinking water supply is 100% dependability, that irrigation is 50% 75% dependability, like this. So Pakistan is totally in disarray because they will not be able to design anything. Second thing we can do in medium term is we can build our hydropower plants, whatever we want to do. We don't need to seek approval from Pakistan. Third thing is we build dams, make our storages and transfer the water south to other areas where we actually need them. I think the ministry is thinking about these lines, and we can use about 30 MAF water, which will be very good and very sufficient for North India. It will usher other kind of green revolution or industrial revolution in India.
I just wanted to ask one thing more. Suppose we aggregate it and we stop water. How much time will it take for us to utilize this water?
See, we won't take much time to utilize it, but these projects will take time. But what has happened is, General Dhillon will also agree with me, when this treaty came out, the technology was only gravity fed. You made dams and then canals for gravity. But last 65 years, technology in water has improved tremendously. You have got tunneling technology, canal technology, underground pipelines, and then dam technology. So we can compress this and build it in about 10 years. But we have the capacity to utilize it because we already have a canal network, everything is there. We just need to transfer the water from north to south, and that is possible today. I'll just give you an example. Earlier, all the systems were gravity fed, but on Godavari there are two projects, Polavaram and Kaleswaram.
Can you exchange the mic?
Hello. So, Deccan is plateau, so you cannot feed it through gravity. They are all pump based. There are huge pumps that actually pump the water to these areas. So pumping technology is also improved. And if it is a question of national security, I think the cost should not be a consideration. Technology should not be a consideration. We should have a deadline and we should work backwards. It is possible. For instance, Bias and Chenab, they flow very close. And the only thing that we have is Rohtang tunnel. If we could have a tunnel for passengers, I think tunnel for water is not difficult. We can transfer water from Chenab to Bias. Similarly, we can transfer water from Jhelum to Chenab. This is possible today. It will take about 5 to 7 years. But once Government of India has made its mind, I think the water transfer is totally possible.
General Dhillon, serious question, although in a lighter way.
and that is Pakistan has said that it will abrogate the Shimla Agreement. It said we'll go back on that. So would that mean that the 93,000 POWs we had sent under the agreement, will they be coming back to India?
Thank you. I had tweeted this once they said that we will abrogate Shimla Agreement, and I tweeted that so bhai wo 93,000 को वापस करने पड़ेंगे, and that tweet got I think some million odd hits. So that is happening. But if they abrogate the Shimla Agreement, there's nothing which is binding us because of Shimla Agreement. The only thing which we are saying because of Shimla Agreement is that all disputes will be discussed or will be sorted out within the two countries. There will not be third-party mediation. And even if they abrogate today, also we can say no, we will not want third-party mediation. We will resolve the disputes within our own country. And as regards now the Shimla Agreement, there is a lot of propaganda and on this plebiscite, that UN Charter, I think number so and so, which 1948, which they said, and your plebiscite होना चाहिए कश्मीर में. Now, I must for the audience, most of us would know it, but I would like to amplify that UN Charter or whatever the UN thing was. It had 3 conditions, and they were sequential in nature. That means if the first condition is met, then only the second, and if the second is met, then only the third. The first condition was all Pakistani troops will vacate the state of the then Jammu and Kashmir. That means Pakistani people will go back to anywhere else other than the state of J&K of that time. And second condition was, once that has happened, then all Indian troops will fall back and will go out of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, leaving behind only that much which is necessary for maintenance of law and order. And third condition is the plebiscite under someone's watch. Now, first condition where all troops of Pakistan should go back out of the then state of J&K has not happened. Pakistan has not vacated POJK, Pakistan has not vacated Gilgit Pakistan, and since that first condition is not met, second condition का सवाल ही नहीं है और third तो अभी बहुत दूर है. So we must understand this. It is a sequential order, and Pakistanis are in the World Forum trying to jump to third stage straight away. Now, that's not the correct way to look at that UN Charter. So abrogation of Shimla Agreement, I don't think will have much impact on us, on the serious note. And we as a sovereign nation, the 4th largest economy, the 1/6 of the world in population, the biggest democracy and the 1/6 of the market also, we can stand our ground. When Ukraine and Russia war started, I had just retired and some TV channel asked me, where does India stand? And my reply was, India stands on its 2 feet. And we have continued to do so, and we can do so even if Shimla Agreement is abrogated. Thank you.
Anyway, Shimla Agreement is almost dead with Pakistan, attacking us, including Kargil and all. So that was already gone. But I would now like you to look at the crystal ball and see what is the worst scenario. What could be the worst scenario from the defense point of view if we stop water from going into Pakistan?
See, as Mr. Kundu in his opening remarks had said, if we stop water going into Pakistan, the worst affected will be the lower Punjab or the eastern or eastern part of Punjab. And in Pakistan, whatever hurts Punjab hurts Pakistan. Like we had seen on the slide, everything below Chenab River or on the southeast of Chenab River, there is 50% of Pakistani Punjab. If that gets devoid of water and that portion becomes a desert in the next 1 or 2 decades, Pakistan is an agrarian society dominated by Punjabis. Balochistan in any case doesn't have water and doesn't need water because of the countryside. If the Pakistani Punjab stop getting water for their agriculture, look at all the revolutions which have happened in the world. जब तक आप और आपकी वाइफ या आपका भाई भूखा है, revolution नहीं होती. जब आपका बच्चा भूखा होता है ना, then people get into revolution. When a children future or when a child will not get food at night, then people will be up in arms against Pakistani army and so to say hukumran. It has a tremendous impact on Pakistan, and like Mr. Kundu was saying, we can negotiate anything once we build capabilities on site. To hold water, to divert water, and not to release water to Pakistan.
Kind of concluding remarks from both of you. But I read somewhere that it's the Rabi crop in Pakistan that's going to be affected most because in Kharif they still have the monsoon and all. So what do you think would be the immediate implications of stopping water from the industry?
There will be water scarcity, food scarcity, poverty. This will be widespread, and there will be public revolts also, public protests also, and they will blame the government and army for bringing this situation onto them. And this is going to happen very soon.
Your final thoughts? Yeah.
I think nations become great by forcing their will in the world community. Now America is, whatever it is today, is basically because it can enforce its will on any country in the world, other than probably Russia and China. So if we are in a state where we are today and we are going to grow further, we should be in a position to enforce our will at least in the subcontinent. In the near neighborhood, then we will go to the intermediate neighborhood, because a country of our size, country of our economy, country of our future, I think we should be able to sit on a high table now. So that is where our resolve, the next generation's resolve, is a very important aspect, not only in Indus Water Treaty or anything. Like I was giving a talk to one of these universities here, where the children were doing the mock United Nations. So when I was talking to the young kids, I said, be very clear, you are not an India of yesterday, you are India of tomorrow. Like I said earlier, we are 1/6 of the world, we are the 4th largest economy, we are the mighty military force. Don't accept anything in the United Nations which is not in our favor. Dictator comes and you will see the United Nations will accept it. Because अगर कोई सुई भी बनाता है ना, तो बेचने के लिए इंडिया आना पड़ता है. That is our strength. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dhillon Kundu, for such an illuminating talk. Well, some questions? Okay, yes, please. Yeah.
Sir, my question to both of you. I saw an interview from China, and China's some minister in China made the statement saying that if India does this to Pakistan, we will do the same to India. I just want to hear something about it, because even China has not been sharing data for the last 2 years. And they had an agreement where they're supposed to be sharing the data. But it seems like last 2 years they have not shared any data with India. Will that impact India by any chance?
I'll take that question because I have served as chairman Brahmaputra board. So in rivers, the water comes 3 ways. First is glacial melt, second is snow, third is rainfall. And Brahmaputra in China is called Yarling. And it only contributes to 10% of the total volume of water in Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra at Dhubri is 600 kilometer cube. It's like a sea. And we are not even able to use 5% of it. And for your kind knowledge, Brahmaputra has 128 tributaries. And most of them are in India. And that is because in Northeast we get average 10 meter of rainfall every year. And all that water comes. Whatever China tries to do, it cannot harm us in any way.
Just a point to add to it. India and China's boundary or LSC or whatever we call it in the eastern region runs along the watershed of Great Himalayas. That means the Great Himalayas, we are sitting on the Himalayas and they are down. And anything which falls on the southern side of Himalayas will contribute to Brahmaputra. And that is how the 90% of the glacial water or the snow or the rain contributes to Brahmaputra. So we are not going to be impacted. Much only problem in that area is we are not able to harness that water. Well, Brahmaputra, if somebody has seen Jal Malik, would have definitely flown over it. It's in miles the width at places. And there are people living inside the islands. Brahmaputra is mighty Brahmaputra, but it doesn't impact us.
Okay, any other question? Yes, sir.
This would be the last question, please.
If you can hear me, how much of a river's water is below the surface?
Okay, see, as I told you, there's something called base flow, and most of the rivers have base flow also. But this base flow is more in peninsular rivers. So when you go to Kaveri, Godavari and all, so a lot of water. But normal rivers also have waste flow. But here the volume is more, Himalayan rivers volume is low because of glacial melt. Now the thing is, had Britishers been smart, they did not realize the value of water. Otherwise they would have never left the Tibetan plateau. Tibet is also called the third pole, North Pole, South Pole and third pole. It contributes to 1/3 of world's fresh water. Most of the rivers originate from there. And it's to our advantage that we have Himalayas, we've got a lot of water. But base flow is there, and because of excessive extraction of groundwater, many places like Yamuna, the base flow has come down.
Well, thank you very much, and to all of you for speaking.